Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. Today we have an exciting episode for all of you who want to speak English fluently and fast.
That's right, Julia. We're going to talk about how you can start speaking English fluently in just 30 days. Sounds amazing, right?
It really does. But before we get started, let's be honest, many learners feel stuck when trying to speak English. They get nervous, they forget words, or they just don't know where to begin.
Absolutely, Julia. And that's exactly why we created this plan, a simple, clear path you can follow every day for 1 month to improve your speaking skills.
We'll share practical tips, exercises, and motivation to help you build your confidence and speak more naturally. And remember, fluency isn't about speaking perfectly, it's about communicating clearly and confidently.
Exactly. Whether you're a beginner or have some experience, this episode will give you the tools you need. So, grab your notebook and get ready. Let's make these 30 days count.
Ready? Let's dive in. All right, Jason. Before we jump into the 30-day plan, let's talk about what fluency really means. A lot of people think fluency means speaking perfectly without mistakes. But is that true?
Great question, Julia. Actually, fluency is more about how smoothly and confidently you speak, rather than perfect grammar or pronunciation. It's being able to express your ideas clearly, without too many pauses or hesitations.
Exactly. Many learners get stuck trying to be perfect, and that stops them from speaking at all. Fluency is about communicating, making yourself understood, and keeping the conversation going.
Right. And sometimes that means making small mistakes, but not letting them stop you. Native speakers also make mistakes, but they keep talking.
I love that. So fluency is really about confidence and flow. If you can speak naturally and understand others, that's fluency.
And it's important to remember that fluency takes time. It's not about learning everything at once. It's about practicing regularly and improving step by step.
Also, there are different types of fluency, like speaking fluently in everyday conversations versus speaking fluently in formal situations. But the good news is, our 30-day plan focuses on everyday speaking that you can use right away.
That's a great point. So don't worry if you're not ready for a business meeting yet. Start with simple, natural conversations.
And keep practicing. Over time, your fluency will improve, and speaking English will feel more natural and easier.
All right, now that we understand what fluency really is, it's time to look at the plan that will help you get there in 30 days. So, Julia, now that we know what fluency really means, let's give our listeners an overview of the 30-day plan. How can someone go from struggling to speak English to speaking fluently in just 1 month?
Great question, Jason. The key is daily practice, even just a little bit every day. The plan is broken into 4 weeks, each with a clear focus to help you build your skills step by step.
Right. The first week is all about building your foundation, learning essential vocabulary, useful phrases, and practicing listening.
Then, in the second week, we focus on practicing speaking itself. That means trying out conversations, even if they're simple, and getting comfortable with making mistakes.
Week 3 is where you really start improving your pronunciation and confidence. You'll practice mimicking native speakers and learn ways to sound more natural.
And finally, week 4 is all about real-life practice and immersion, using what you've learned in real conversations, watching movies, listening to podcasts, and really living the language.
That sounds like a solid plan. And the most important thing? Consistency. Doing a little every day will make a huge difference.
Absolutely. You don't have to spend hours. Even 15 to 30 minutes a day can transform your speaking skills if you're focused and motivated.
And throughout the plan, we'll share tips and exercises that anyone can follow whether you're a beginner or want to improve your fluency quickly.
So, if you're ready, let's get started with Week 1, building your foundation for fluent English. All right, Jason, Week 1 is super important because it sets the foundation for everything else. Without a strong base, it's hard to build fluency.
Absolutely, Julia. So, in this first week, learners should focus on three main things: learning essential vocabulary, common phrases, and practicing listening skills.
Let's start with vocabulary. It's tempting to try to learn hundreds of words at once, but that's overwhelming. Instead, focus on the most useful words like everyday objects, simple verbs, and basic adjectives.
Right. For example, words like eat, go, happy, big, and common nouns like house, food, or friend are a great place to start.
And don't just memorize them. Try to use them in short sentences. For example, instead of just learning the word eat, say, I eat breakfast, or I eat rice.
That's a good point. It helps your brain remember words better when you connect them in sentences.
Next, learning common phrases is key. Phrases like, how are you? What time is it? Or, can you help me? Are used every day in real conversations.
Yes, and knowing these phrases helps you understand others and respond quickly without thinking too much.
For listening practice, it's important to hear English every day. You can listen to simple podcasts, watch English videos with subtitles, or even listen to English songs.
Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. The goal is to get used to how English sounds and improve your listening skills.
One great tip is to listen to short clips repeatedly. The more you listen, the easier it gets to catch words and phrases.
Now, to help with practice, you can use flashcards, either physical ones or apps like Anki or Quizlet, to review vocabulary and phrases daily.
Also, try to write down new words and phrases in a notebook. Writing helps reinforce memory and gives you something to review.
Let's do a quick role-play example. Julia, can you start?
Sure. Hi, Jason. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. What time is it now?
It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Great. Can you help me with my English homework?
Of course, let's practice together.
See? These simple sentences use basic vocabulary and common phrases. Practicing this daily builds confidence.
Exactly. And remember, it's okay if you don't get it perfect right away. The goal is steady progress.
So, for week 1, focus on these simple but powerful steps. Learn essential words, use them in phrases and sentences, and listen to English as much as possible.
And don't forget to practice a little every day. Consistency is the key to success.
All right, ready for week 2? We'll talk about how to start practicing speaking itself. Welcome back. Now that we've built a solid foundation in week 1, it's time to focus on the heart of fluency, speaking itself.
Yes, week 2 is all about practicing speaking. Many learners feel nervous or afraid of making mistakes when they speak, but this is the time to push past those fears.
That's right, Julia. Speaking practice helps your brain connect vocabulary and phrases with actual conversation. The more you speak, the easier it gets.
One great way to practice speaking is to find a language partner, someone who can speak English with you regularly. It could be a friend, a tutor, or even someone you meet online.
There are many websites and apps now where you can find language partners or join English-speaking groups. It's a fun way to practice and learn naturally.
If you can't find a partner right away, don't worry. Self-talk is a powerful tool. Talk to yourself in English throughout the day. Describe what you're doing, what you see, or what you plan to do.
For example, if you're cooking, say out loud, I am cutting the vegetables. I need some salt. Now I am stirring the pot.
Yes, it might feel a little strange at first, but it's excellent practice because it trains your brain to think in English.
Another helpful technique is recording yourself speaking. Listen back to see how you sound and notice areas to improve.
And don't be too hard on yourself. Making mistakes is part of learning. The important thing is to keep trying and keep speaking.
Let's try a short conversation using some phrases from week 1. I'll start. Hello, Julia. How are you today?
I'm great, Jason. Thank you. What are you doing this afternoon?
I'm practicing my English speaking. It's a little hard, but I'm improving.
That's wonderful. Keep practicing every day and you'll get better quickly.
Remember, the more you practice speaking, the more natural it will feel. Even short daily conversations add up.
And if you're feeling shy, start by practicing alone, then gradually speak with others when you feel more confident.
So to sum up week 2, find a language partner, practice self-talk, record yourself, and keep speaking no matter what.
Exactly. Speaking is the key to fluency, and every word you say brings you closer to your goal. Welcome to week 3. By now, you've built your vocabulary and practiced speaking. This week, we focus on improving your pronunciation and boosting your confidence.
Exactly, Julia. Pronunciation can be tricky, but it's important because it helps people understand you clearly. When your pronunciation improves, your confidence naturally grows.
One effective way to improve pronunciation is to listen carefully to native speakers and try to mimic their sounds. This technique is called shadowing.
Right. Shadowing means you listen to a short sentence or phrase, then immediately repeat it out loud, trying to copy the speaker's rhythm, tone, and pronunciation.
You can use videos, podcasts, or even songs for shadowing. Choose something short and listen to it several times.
Let's do a quick example. Julia, can you say a sentence slowly, and I'll repeat after you?
Sure. I am learning to speak English fluently.
I am learning to speak English fluently.
Great. Notice how your tone and rhythm matched mine? That's shadowing.
Another tip is to focus on difficult sounds. For many learners, sounds like the in think or R in river can be challenging.
Yes, practicing those sounds slowly and clearly will help a lot. You can find pronunciation guides online or use apps that give you feedback.
Also, try recording yourself speaking and compare it to native speakers. This helps you hear where you need to improve.
Now, about confidence. Many learners feel shy or afraid of making mistakes, but confidence grows with practice.
A helpful trick is to prepare short scripts or sentences to practice before speaking with others. This reduces anxiety and gives you a boost.
And remember to celebrate small successes. Every time you speak, you're improving, even if it's just a few words.
Let's do a little role play to practice pronunciation and build confidence. Julia, you start.
Okay. Good morning, Jason. How are you today?
Good morning, Julia. I'm feeling confident because I'm practicing every day.
That's excellent. Keep going and don't worry about mistakes.
Exactly. Confidence is about believing in your ability to improve, even if it takes time.
So, in week 3, focus on shadowing, practicing difficult sounds, recording yourself, and building confidence with daily practice.
Keep pushing forward. Your fluency is getting closer every day. Welcome to the final week of our 30-day fluency plan. This week is all about real-life practice and immersion. It's where you take everything you've learned and start using English in your daily life.
Yes, Jason. Immersion means surrounding yourself with English as much as possible, listening, speaking, reading, and even thinking in English.
One way to do this is by watching movies or TV shows in English. Try to watch with subtitles at first, then gradually watch without them.
You can also listen to English podcasts, music, or radio while you're commuting, cooking, or doing chores. This helps you get used to natural speech and different accents.
And don't forget reading. Try reading simple books, news articles, or even social media posts in English. This builds your vocabulary and understanding.
But the most important part of immersion is speaking with real people. Join English clubs, language exchanges, or chat with friends who speak English.
If you don't have access to native speakers nearby, online platforms are a great option. There are many websites where you can video chat with English learners or tutors.
Another tip is to think in English instead of translating from your native language. This helps your brain switch to English mode faster.
And if you make mistakes, don't worry. Real-life practice is about communicating and learning from experience.
Exactly. Every conversation is a chance to improve. The more you immerse yourself, the faster your fluency grows.
So, in week 4, focus on watching, listening, reading, speaking, and thinking in English every day. Make English a natural part of your life.
Congratulations! By following this plan, you're well on your way to speaking English fluently in 30 days.
Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, fluency is a journey, not a destination. Before we wrap up, Julia, let's talk about some common challenges people face when trying to speak English fluently in 30 days.
Great idea, Jason. One big challenge is fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry about sounding wrong or being misunderstood.
That's totally normal. But the key is to remember that mistakes are part of learning. The more you speak, the faster you improve.
Another challenge is lack of time. People often say they're too busy to practice every day.
Our advice? Even 10 to 15 minutes a day makes a difference. It's about consistency, not long hours.
Also, some learners get frustrated when progress feels slow. Learning a language takes time, and fluency won't happen overnight.
Right. Patience and persistence are essential. Celebrate small wins. Every new word, every sentence you speak is progress.
Finally, some struggle with finding good practice partners or resources.
Today, there are so many online tools, apps, and communities. Don't be afraid to explore and find what works best for you.
The key is to keep going, stay positive, and never give up on your goal to speak English fluently.
Exactly. Challenges are just stepping stones on your language learning journey.
As we finish our 30-day fluency plan, Jason, what final tips can we share to help our listeners keep going strong?
Great question, Julia. First, I'd say never stop practicing. Even after 30 days, keep speaking, listening, reading, and writing in English every day.
Absolutely. Also, set small, achievable goals. For example, learn 5 new words a day or have a short conversation with someone.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes mean you're learning and improving.
Another important tip is to stay curious and have fun. Explore topics you enjoy in English movies, music, hobbies. It makes learning exciting.
That's right. When you enjoy the process, you'll stay motivated longer.
Remember, fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about communicating and expressing yourself confidently.
And if you ever feel stuck, go back to the basics. Listen, practice speaking, and keep pushing forward.
You've got this. Believe in yourself, and your English will improve day by day.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Keep practicing, stay positive, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you so much for listening to our English Learning Podcast. We hope you found the 30-day fluency plan helpful and inspiring.
Yes, and remember, the key to fluency is practice and patience. Keep using the tips we shared every day, and you'll see great progress.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new lesson.
And don't forget to leave a comment below. Tell us about your English learning journey or any questions you have. We love hearing from you.
Also, follow us on social media for daily English tips and motivational content.
Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the English Learning Podcast.
Happy learning, everyone!